on Monday and Friday they're still working from home, Now like they work only 3 days in the city and then 2 days at home, or sometimes only 2 days. Yeah, that's why it affects to our business a lot.
For Sydney cafe manager Chattapon Luangchuang, the work from home movement means less work for her staff.
At least I know I have job here, but for my staff it's so sad because they lose their job straight away. Yeah, we have no idea. Your latte? Thank you.
The cafe is part of the GG Espresso chain, set up by former Australian rugby union captain George Gregan and wife Erica.
$8 please.
The business remained on JobKeeper until last month, but couldn't survive without it and was placed into administration. The outlet Chattapon used to run was closed.
It's sad. I went back there to grab something and I met my old customer that used to come and grab coffee every day, right? And they're like, where have you been? Like, what did what happened?
The business is now in the hands of administrator Ian Purchase.
They could trade reasonably well when they were getting that stimulus and when the government changed the insolvency laws and all that other stimulus. And when that comes off, then those businesses are finding it very difficult to continue to trade.
But the end of JobKeeper hasn't caused a rush of business closures across the economy yet.
We certainly expect to see, with the end of JobKeeper, a rise in people out of work, and I think that will push up the unemployment figures over the next few months.
In the first phase of JobKeeper, almost 4 million employees had their wages subsidised. From October last year, the program was tightened and 1.5 million workers were still covered. From January to when JobKeeper ended last month, it's estimated about 1 million employees were receiving the payment.
It is a passion. Even if I had a choice, I'd still rather do menswear. I'd just like to service people. I like to dress people up, make them look good. A lot of them come to buy stuff for job interviews. You've got to make them look great, and I've got to make sure they get their job. Then they come back.
Anthony Leisha has been in the menswear business for a quarter of a century.
Without JobKeeper, we've struggled the last 3 months. We've been taking either no wages or half wages every week. That's it. My superannuation hasn't been paid now in the last probably 6-8 months. When you're working at home for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 months, you don't need a suit. A lot of people just sit in the computer, put a shirt and tie on, that's their meeting.
Anthony's in business with his brother Paul. The pair were on JobKeeper until December, by which time trade had picked up enough that they were no longer eligible for the wage subsidy.
If it wasn't for JobKeeper, we would have closed down a long time ago. JobKeeper's finished. The next 6 months is going to be a completely different ball game again. I think they should have left it going at least till the end of this year.
I think in any major economic shock, you actually see some structural changes come out the other side. So one of the big changes from this pandemic is working from home. That probably means that for some businesses within the CBD, they just won't recover to the level that they were pre-pandemic.
JobKeeper pumped about $90 billion into the Australian economy. The support measures that remain appear small by comparison, including Jobmaker, a different wage subsidy that's supposed to help unemployed young people back into the workforce.
The job hiring credit applies to everyone under the age of 35. And let me tell you why. They got hit the hardest. You want young Australians to start out their working life in jobs.
But at the end of last month, Jobmaker had only supported about 600 jobs.
So the idea about the filter is it's 1 to 3 minutes. It works like a magnet.
Helen Owens owns a chain of hairdressing salons in Brisbane. She's expanded during the pandemic, opening her 4th salon last September, but it wasn't easy.
I didn't know if we could even manage to open, but I was committed to a lease. So I had no choice but to go ahead. So bit by bit, with baby steps and getting funding and doing whatever we could, we did get there.
Helen thought one of her new workers would be eligible for the Jobmaker scheme, which provides a wage subsidy of up to $200 a week for a year. Her business met one of the eligibility rules, that employee numbers grow. But she didn't meet another criteria. that her overall outlays on staff wages also increase.
We were $7,000 under the threshold of what we needed to be. So over, hundreds of thousands of dollars just to be sort of like pipped at the post despite having put on an extra 4 people was a little surprising. I'm so grateful for what the government's done and, JobKeeper and the apprenticeship schemes and everything. But JobMaker, I can't imagine who would possibly qualify for it.
You could relax a number of the eligibility requirements around age, around the requirement that people be on JobSeeker, as well as that, I think increasing the amount of the subsidy, particularly for full-time jobs, would make a difference.
Back in Sydney, bringing on new staff is not on the minds of those at GG Espresso.
I hope people come to work 5 days per week like before. So it more people in the city, they need help. A lot of business, not just only us, but every business in the city will be better,
If we survive another 6 months, we'll be okay, we'll get over it. And if we don't survive the next 6 months, I gotta shut up shop. That's all there is to it, unless we get some government assistance.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.